Hey guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We are going to check out a very cool optic from DNT Optics. It's called the ThermNight. This is without a doubt one of the most feature-packed and genuinely most awesome day/night/thermal optics that I have ever had come across my desk. It is not only durable and waterproof, but it's just a pleasure to use, and I'm excited to tell you guys about it. And if you guys watch a lot of my videos, you definitely know that I love a good night vision / day vision scope. I mean, I use them pretty much all the time. When I'm out here recording reviews for you guys, I got to have a scope to record the results, the accuracy results, right? And then, of course, when I've got an air gun like this, Ed gun right here, that just really lends itself to going around on the ranch at night and doing some ratting, well, being able to have a good night vision or thermal solution is very awesome as well. So this thing pretty much does it all. And that's, I guess, what their name stands for, Day and Night Technology, DNT. This ThermNight right here just absolutely has it all right here built in to this one very compact and lightweight, just awesome unit. So we're going to go over everything that this thing has, or at least as much as I can sort of fit into this video for you guys today, and give you my opinion here on the DNT Optics ThermNight. So let's just start off here kind of going over what's on the outside of the ThermNight and kind of what all of this is. So basically, obviously, we've got our button pad on the back with all of the interfacing controls for going through your menus, getting all your settings and everything set up super easy with all the buttons just accessible right there. We've got our zoom or magnification right there. Very handy. We also have our rangefinder activator right there. So you tap that button, turns on or off the rangefinder, and this other button right here switches between the thermal and the day/night vision. So you can go thermal only, day, night vision only, or a picture-in-picture option, which is very useful, especially for night hunting. We've got, of course, that button there for switching those two. Then around here on the front, we've got a nice included little rubber flippy for protecting our thermal sensor there. And we've got a focus ring on that thermal sensor. And then we have our day/night vision sensor up here and a focus or parallax adjustment on that as well right there. We've got our laser for the laser rangefinder, and then right underneath that we've got our IR illuminator with a focus wheel on that as well, so you can zoom it out, spread the beam out wide, or focus it down in nice and narrow for those long distance shots. So those are all the controls on the unit itself. Now, one thing that I've really liked about all the DNT optics is the interchangeable battery. So right here, you just unscrew this part right there, and out pops your standard battery. Now, you can obviously get more of these. They come with two, which is pretty handy because you can keep one on the charger, have the other one in the unit, then you've always got a spare battery charged up and ready to go. Whereas with some of the other scopes that have the battery built in, you can't swap it out. If the battery goes dead, I mean, you're down until you can get that scope charged. So being able to swap out a battery makes it super awesome. Now, kind of getting back to everything being all included in this one unit like this, with obviously both the thermal, the day-night vision, the rangefinder, and the IR illuminator. Speaking as far as batteries, that's pretty dang awesome, because now when the battery gets low, I've got one battery to worry about. I don't have a separate battery for my IR illuminator, separate battery for my rangefinder. Everything's all included in just the one unit and runs all off of the one battery. And so far, I've been getting really good battery life out of these guys. It can go for a good couple of days, 2 or 3 days, if I'm just out here doing reviews, and probably 1.5 to 2 nights of night hunting. And that's because at night I'm running the IR, and so that does drain the battery a little bit faster. But definitely this thing hasn't left me stranded at all, like halfway through a session or halfway through the night with the battery running dead. And heck, even if it did, I could just swap in the fresh one. So that is pretty awesome. And I guess sort of last thing to cover here, as far as physically on the unit, would be that we do have a little miniature sort of pick rail point right there for mounting up lasers or auxiliary flashlights if you needed more light than what the built-in IR was able to provide. So that's kind of a cool feature there. Right behind that, you've got your USB port for plugging this thing into the computer, for being able to plug this into a computer, get the videos off of it, or obviously just charge the scope right there without even having to remove the battery. So that's physically sort of how the scope works. Let's kind of get into the nitty gritty and take a look at some of the menus and sort of how it works to zero it, and sort of on screen what you're seeing as you're looking through this guy. All right, so we'll start off with how it is to get this thing zeroed. And basically, it allows you to freeze the image in the zeroing menu so that you're able to just move it from where you were aiming to where you hit. Very easy to get zeroed. And then when it comes to zeroing the thermal side, you basically just match up the thermal reticle to wherever your day/night vision reticle is, and voila, you've got both of your scopes zeroed. Next, we'll borrow some footage here from DNT so that we can take a little bit of a look at the switching between the thermal and the night/day vision and all of the different color options that they have. You can see that picture-in-picture works really well, and so does this laser rangefinder option. So basically, you just point it at whatever you want to shoot, it tells you the distance, and then you tap it again, and it will actually give you a mark on your reticle for where you need to aim for your holdover at that distance with the ballistic calc on your whole projectile and everything. So that is super awesome for longer distance shots, especially with air guns. You can run that ballistics calc on it and get dialed into potentially right where that slug or pellet you're shooting is going to fall, and that is awesome. All right, guys, well, there you have it. The DNT Optics ThermNight. This thing is so awesome. When you combine, obviously, everything that it does, along with just the quality at which it does it. I mean, I'm super pumped about the quality of the footage out of this thing. Even though some folks have said that the resolution of the thermal is not the greatest, I mean, side by side to some of my other more expensive thermals, this thing looks good to my eye. And obviously then you have the price. You kind of can't touch what DNT Optics is offering in this unit for the price. I mean, we've got this thing for just barely over $1,000, or maybe even right at about $1,000, depending on where you get it, if it's on sale, so on and so forth. But for $1K, thermal and night vision and day vision, and it's only this freaking big, you guys, that is just so dang awesome. And that's really why I can't say enough good about this. It brings the ability for guys out there that aren't rich with their Gucci guns to be able to have an optic that's super capable. And I mean, like you guys have seen, the quality of the footage is good, and it's just an all-around seemingly good optic. Now, I will say the one thing is I've only had these for a couple of months now, so we'll see how they hold up. But this thing, I have been throwing it around here in the truck, just kind of letting it bang around in the back seat, and it still works great, holds a zero, and everything is working just fine. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me here today. I hope that I gave you guys a good, thorough look here at the ThermNight, and you didn't get too sick of hearing me jabber away about a scope. But scopes are definitely awesome. So if you want to check them out, I'll put the links down in the description below. You can check out the ThermNight as well as the Zulus. I know we didn't talk about that in this video, but that is just the day/night vision option of this scope. So if you don't need thermal, you can pick that up for even less, like $600, $700, something like that. So there you go, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Smash the links. Check out the other couple of videos. Oh, yeah, it's hot. I think I need to go get a lemonade or something. See you guys next time.